Greetings fellow YouTubers. This is going to be another video. This is how to cook with your Coleman camp stove. In the previous video we showed you how to do the maintenance, to light it, and secure it. Now for the sake of ease we took the windscreen off, as you can see, and you can operate it without the windscreen. Now today we're going to make chicken chickpea soup. Now this is designed for when you're in a grid down situation, like after a hurricane, a tornado, some sort of incident where you've lost power for either the day or consecutive days. This meal right here, you can save it because you got canned chicken, canned stewed tomatoes. Actually these are Italian diced tomatoes. What's nice about these is that it's already pre-seasoned, and chickpeas. Now I use the generic version. Whatever you want, that's what you can use. I'm not very partial. I'll take either or. Now, we got the chicken broth and we got an onion. For the full recipe, you can go to my website under Tasty Diversions at www.galosienterprisesllc.com, and you'll see it at the bottom here towards the end. Now, with that, let's get started. Once again, you're going to start it. Make sure the tip is up. You should always wear your eye protection. Eye Pro is always good. You only have two sets of eyes, or one set, excuse me, two eyes. Bring it out and start it. Open it fully. As you can see, we already got it clear. Now, another important thing I forgot to mention, always have a manual can opener. For the simple reason, if the power's out, how are you going to open up your cans? Today, we're using the Martha Stewart cast iron pot that my Aunt Phyllis gave me. Thank you, Aunt Phyllis. And because we are on a camp stove, I don't want to burn the pot because this is one of my favorite pots. I'm going to pour some chicken broth in here right now and then slide it over. Now you can use regular water with this, no problem. You can also use just regular water, regular water with chicken cubes, the little bouillon cubes, whatever your fancies. I just thought the broth would be a lot easier. Now meanwhile, you want to start up your second one, because we're also going to get the water to boil with. It's getting nice and hot there. Alright. Now this is where the easy part comes in. All you gotta do is just open these and dump them in. Don't even worry about straining them. Just open and dump. Alright YouTubers, we already opened up all the cans. Little trick, get a spoon that fits inside the can, that way you have a little stir thing. Now we're going to cut up the onion. Since friends of mine and I, we like some onions, just cut them up like this. And just go lengthwise. Remember, it's all good. This is going, like I said, this is a hearty soup. It gives you a lot of calories. And if it's cold out or something, it always makes your life just that much nicer. Drop in like that. Now, once that's done, lid on it. Now, the lid's going to be great for a simple reason. It's going to retain the heat. It's going to cook that much faster. Now this is going to be our first wash water. Now, if you'll just look over this way, we have the clean stage itself. This is going to be our first wash, or our wash water with some dishwashing soap. First rinse with some bleach, second rinse with bleach, and then the drying rack. So when we're done eating, this water that's going to be boiled is going to be put in here. Then we're going to boil some more. That way you have 3 containers of water. And I'll show you how to clean up after yourself. And with that, all we have to do is wait. Thank you very much, and we'll be right back. Okay, fellow YouTubers, this is a common mistake. Now, I don't have a lid on this because, once again, this is supposed to be a grid down scenario, no power. A lot of people have pots, but they misplace their lids. You can always use a little bit of aluminum foil or tin foil to make an improvised lid. All you gotta do is just put it out, measure it roughly, tear, put it on, and just crimp it down. And that's it. Now, once again, you want to check your meal here. Stir a little bit. Doesn't have to be anything major. Keep the lid on. Now, this should be able to cook and bring to a boil, because remember, this is already pre-cooked stuff here. You should be able to bring to a boil within about 30 minutes. You have the cast iron going. Always check, make sure your burners stay lit, because once again, if your burners are not lit, you're wasting fuel, obviously. You're wasting time, and if people are hungry, they want to eat. Meanwhile, you're already getting ahead of the game by getting this pot all ready to go for your first wash. Alright, once again, YouTubers, we're back again. We've already been checking it. All we're doing is heating it up. Now, this is the difference from using a cast iron pot, or a Dutch oven in this case, with a lid, and using a regular chintzy little stew pot, or a stock pot with aluminum lid, for lack of a better term. Now, the water is just under a boil. As you can see, it really wants to go. It's almost going. It's almost there. Let me set this back. Now remember, this is also the weaker burner. This, on the other hand, is the stronger burner. And look at that. We're boiling. We're going really good here. And for all practical purposes, this is done. So we can actually sit down and enjoy our meal. Now remember, since we are pretending this is a grid down scenario, we have to do sanitation. So what we're going to do now, we're going to turn this off. Actually, you know what? We're not even going to bother turning it off. What we're going to do is we're going to get some oven mitts or something, so we can move it and we can put it right here on the wood, because that's protecting the table. We're going to move this over to here, and then we're going to use another pot. Okay, YouTubers, alright, we got our pot holders. We're going to just pick this up. I'm going to go sideways, away from the flame. Put it down here. I'm going to get this guy. We're going to shut off our secondary burner for a minute. And then we're going to just slide this guy over. And when we slide over like this, we're keeping our hands and limbs away from the flame. Just a safety thing. Now with that, we can actually serve this, and then afterwards we'll get into the cooking. Into the cleaning. Thank you very much. Hello, YouTubers. Now this is the first phase of cleaning up. Since we have a limited burners here, what we're going to do now, we're going to just put a little bit of detergent in here. Just kind of guesstimate. which that should be good enough. Now, have it done. Pop our lid. Pull that down. Now you see this is boiling. So what we're going to do now, just be careful, make sure there's no kids when you do this. Now to weigh it down a little bit, let me just separate it a little bit. Now since we are playing the grid down scenario, you should still have water pressure. If not, you'll be using your water that you've stored up, hopefully, to fill this. Now, as you can see, this is smoking hot. So, by the time we finish our meal, it'll be cooling down. Meanwhile, to maximize our time, I'm going to go back and fill this up again and start boiling it again. Welcome back, YouTubers. We finished our lunch. It took us approximately 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we have our water boiling on the main one. As you can see, it's definitely going. So we're going to now cut the fuel off. And from here, we've already added our dish soap, because remember, this water is still hot. We've only been out for about 10 minutes. Add some bleach to it. Feel free to be a little on the liberal side. Okay. Now, from there, this is where you just take our pot holders once again, put the water in. Now remember, you have to be careful. It's going to be first wash, first rinse, and second rinse. Now this should be plenty, just to give you an idea of what we're doing. We're going to throw our can opener in, because you always want everything clean. We're going to just throw our bowls in. Now, of course, obviously you scrape them beforehand. I like to use these heavy-duty gloves. Pick them up pretty much anywhere. They're relatively cheap. And my favorite tool is the dish scrubber. So you get it, mix up the lather. Okay, you're going to clean the spoons, as you can see how I'm doing right here. Get all up in there. Now it's going to be first rinse. Second rinse. And remember, since we don't have any power, put it in the dry. Come back over, once again do the same thing. The dishes. Remember, get a good rinse going. Put her up there. Repeat the process. And once again, we're going to repeat it right here. or a manual can opener. Make sure you get all up in there. Good. Now, with that being said, remember this are dirty. We can easily just dump this in the sink, which we'll do right now, and then we'll be right back. Alright, we dump this one in the sink, take the first rinse, and dump it right in here. Again, we could take this, since we're just cleaning it up. Just rinse all the way around. And then we'll dump this into the sink. And then we'll repeat the process with the second rinse. Thank you very much, and have a good day.